Thank you so much for joining us. Rather alarming news, especially for the families of these 200 girls. What can you tell us about the medical situation regarding these 200 girls?
Well, thank you very much for having us. The learners from this very school, Motse Maria, which is one of our boarding schools outside Polokwane, were admitted. They were rushed to three hospitals. That is Nobel Hospital, Sishiko Hospital, and Polokwane Hospital. The latest that we have is that the 124 that were admitted at Sishiko Hospital have all been released. The 41 that was also admitted at Nobel Hospital have been released. The 50 that were rushed to Polokwane Hospital are the ones that are still getting the medical attention. So that is the latest in as far as this situation is concerned.
What have you been able to find out from the teachers, I'm assuming, from the school with these children? How did it come to light that this was a big medical issue that they needed to see to urgently?
Yeah, most definitely. They were complaining of cramps. They were complaining of having discomfort, in their stomach. Some would even say, look, they feel like throwing up and stuff. So that, made the schools not to leave anything to chance. They proactively made sure that they sought medical attention. That's why they were all rushed to these three respective medical facilities where they've been receiving the attention. Like I've just indicated to you that 124 that were taken to Shiko and Nobel have all been released. We await, the latest on the learners that are in Polokwane Hospital here in the city.
What do we know about this camp that these girls were attending?
Look, these are winter enrichment camps organized by the school, just to enrich, what learners have been going through since the beginning of the year. So they were trying to actually make sure that where there are gaps, they close those very gaps. The camp started on Tuesday and will be actually ending next week Friday.
Do we know if they were staying in a camp as in tents, or was it chalets or a hostel type environment that they were staying in?
It's a boarding school with hostels, so they stay there. These are learners at that very school. They're not from any other school. They're learners who are at that very, very school. So they stay in their respective rooms at the hostel, at the school.
Okay, what I was trying to deduce is during this winter enrichment camp, were they still at the school or were they at a different site?
No, at the school itself.
Okay, so one would assume that if it's 200 pupils who were all suffering from the same symptoms, it would potentially have been something that they were all had access to eat.
Yeah, most definitely. That's what we are aiming to establish. So far, what we've done, we've also activated the Department of Health, to visit the school to assist with the testing of the food, to establish what could be the actual problem. Obviously, the local municipality we've also activated so that they go to the school to test maybe the water as well. We need to know what led to this situation so that we're able to prevent it, from happening in the future. But at the moment, we need to make sure that this does not actually escalate to and affect, other learners at the school who are already on with their enrichment programs.
I assume that the necessary steps have also been made to get into contact with the families of these 200 girls.
Most definitely. That is the first thing that you do. You liaise with the parents and make sure that they're on board so that together we are able to look at the problem and nip it in the bud.
Okay, we're going to leave it there. Sam Makondo from the Limpopo Department of Education, thank you so much for that update and for giving us the very latest on the news that's just come in, that more than 200 pupils from a high school just out Polokwane in Limpopo have all been rushed to hospital. Sam confirming there it's two different medical facilities they've been taken to after all of the girls started complaining about stomach cramps and pain.